Something just came to mind today, and I think it's something someone really needs to hear. It's about guilt and how it relates to consciousness. When we look back at our lives, especially after we've become more aware, it's easy to start feeling guilty about the things we did when we were unconscious or less aware. Think about it. Back then, you didn't know better. You might have done things that now you recognize as hurtful or wrong, whether to yourself or others. And now, with this expanded awareness, you can see those actions in a different light. You realize that what you did wasn't right, and that can stir up guilt. But the fact that you're even able to feel guilty now means that you've grown. You're able to see the unconsciousness you were trapped in before. But here's the thing. When you feel guilty, ask yourself, who is the I that feels this guilt? Who is the one taking responsibility for those actions? Is it the real you? Or is it the conditioning, the mental and emotional programming that acted out those unconscious moments? When you say, I did that, are you referring to the deeper I, the essence of who you really are? Or are you identifying with a false self, one that is shaped by past conditioning and unconscious behaviors? Because if we confuse our past unconsciousness with our identity, we're essentially creating a false narrative about ourselves. The real I is much deeper. It's the pure awareness behind all of it. Even in the Bible, there's a powerful line where God says, I am that I am. This is the core of our being. The true I is the consciousness that's always present, beyond the mind and beyond the stories we tell ourselves. Your past actions, they were a reflection of human unconsciousness, not the essence of who you are. And this is true for others as well. When you label someone based on their unconscious actions, it becomes very hard to forgive them. You create a fixed identity for them in your mind, and that makes it difficult to let go of resentment. But when you realize that those actions were simply manifestations of unconsciousness, both in yourself and others, it changes everything. Forgiveness doesn't need to be forced. It's not about saying, okay, I'll forgive them because I'm supposed to. Real forgiveness happens naturally when you see that there's actually nothing to forgive. It's not about condoning bad behavior. It's about understanding that unconsciousness was at play. Once you see that, the false identity, whether it's your own or someone else's, starts to dissolve. The guilt, the resentment, they all begin to fall away because they were never rooted in reality to begin with. This realization is an essential part of becoming a conscious human being. When you stop manufacturing false identities based on the past, the flowering of your consciousness begins. You become free, not only from guilt and regret, but from the need to hold on to anything that no longer serves you. And that's the true beauty of awakening. It's about freeing yourself from these mental constructs and stepping into the deeper, more expansive awareness of who you truly are.